Hi guys, well it's me Adrian again, here with another review of another product related to Sega in some way. And today I'll be reviewing the Sega Mega Drive portable player, the Gopher. The Gopher Sega Mega Drive portable player. And this is something that I got just recently. And I thought I might just do a quick review of it. So yeah, here we go. Okay, I got this 2 weeks ago. I bought it from eBay. It was I got it brand new. It wasn't second hand. And like I previously stated, it's called the Gopher Sega Mega Drive portable player, and it comes with 100 Sega games built into it. So that's pretty good. And it's got lots of cool features. As you can see what it says there, 2.8-inch color LCD display. It's got its own SD card slot for more downloads, so you can actually put an SD card into the top of it and download your own games, your own Mega Drive Genesis games, that is. And let's see the back of it. What do we got on the back? It's got a few frame shots of some of the games, the title screens. This product is very interesting for a number of reasons, and I will explain. Okay, let's have a look at it first of all, inside the box. Okay, it's got its own protective little sleeve thingy there. This is what it looks like. Apparently it comes in different colours, but mine came in red, orange. So this is what it looks like. It's got its own headphone jack, which is pretty cool. Got your on-off switch there. You got your 6 buttons there for fighting games, just like a 6-button Mega Drive Genesis controller. A direction button, menu button. So you can always go, when you press that, you always go back to the list of games. It's got the start pause button up there. If we look over here, we got a volume knob. We got the SD card slot. We got an AV out, so you can actually play your Mega Drive Genesis games on the big television screen if you choose to. And it's got a USB port for charging, because this comes with a battery. The battery's built into it, so you've got to charge that up, and it's got that light there. That LED light tells you when the battery's full, when it's charged, and it's got its own LED light there to let you know when the battery's getting low. So yeah, that's all the cool features of it. The box comes with you get your own USB charging cable, and you actually get the AV out cord with it this time, so that's pretty cool. As you can see, you only get yellow and white, so you already know that I'm stuttering. You already know that it hasn't got stereo sound just by looking at it, because the red one's missing. So this thing only outputs mono sound, but it doesn't output true mono sound. It only outputs monaural sound. Like, you're virtually only hearing the left channel, even through the headphone jack. The headphone jack is not stereo. The sound emulation is pretty good. It doesn't sound off pitch and out of tune like the previous AT-Games Blaze and Firecore versions of these things. The music's pretty good, but in most games, but you don't get stereo sound. They still treat you like a 5-year-old, so you're stuck with only mono sound, but not left and right channels mixed into one channel. You're only hearing the left channel. And I know this because when I've played Sonic games on this, and as you may or may not know with the Sonic games, that the ring sounds, the rings always pan from left to right, Each time you get a ring, you'll hear it through the left speaker and then the right speaker, left, right, left, right. Well, on this, every second ring you can't hear. It's like muted, so that's how I know it's not left and right channels mixed into one. It's just the left channel. It's firstly just a left channel. So every second ring you can't hear. And that also means, of course, that games that Mega Drive Genesis games that utilize the stereo sound, certain guitars and keyboards and synthesizers you're not going to hear, because, like, for example, Chemical Plant Zone on Sonic 2, you know, it had that really funky guitar on the right channel, you know, the whole way through. Well, you won't hear that on this, you know, because it's just outputs the left channel. Just little things like that. And, you know, on games where you hear like drum fills, that where the tom-toms pan from left to right or right to left, you know, chances are one of them's gonna be muted. So it's gonna sound funny. But anyway, just before I turn it on and show you what it's like, what it's actually like, I just want to go on to say that I bought this, like I said, from eBay. It was brand new, and I got it here pretty quickly. But I bought it thinking that it was in the PAL format, you know, because here in Australia we use PAL 50. We don't use NTSC 60. So I bought this thinking that it was PAL format, and I didn't just think that. That's what the guy actually had printed on his page where I got it from. It said that it was in the PAL format. Well, you think it would be because it says Sega Mega Drive. It doesn't say Sega Genesis. You know, that's the PAL 50 European logo there. You know, Sega Mega Drive. So, you know. But the first thing I noticed that was a bit odd was, as you can see here, what it says, 2.8-inch color. But have you noticed the word color is spelt differently? That's spelt the North American way. See, we don't spell color like that here. So I found that odd. That made me think that maybe it's this really is a product from North America or something, you know, because over in Europe and here in Australia, we use the English grammar, so we would spell colour with the U, C-O-L-O-U-R. So that I found that a bit odd. I mean, that's nothing, of course. So I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just stating that I noticed that that was something that wasn't quite right with the box. Because you've got our logo there for the Mega Drive. It doesn't say Genesis. Doesn't say Sega Genesis, it says Mega Drive, so you'd think it would be PAL, but colour is spelt, you know, the American way. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I'm just saying that it's just spelt not the way we would spell it here. It's missing the U. And another odd thing, it says on the side here, it says, you know, package content tells you, it's got, see number 4, it says lithium batteries. What the hell? This doesn't have lithium batteries. It's got a built-in battery in the back there, you know, where you got to charge it up every couple of days. So that was another odd thing. And on the back here, what's the word? It goes against that. I can't think of the correct word. It says here, built-in rechargeable battery. So it says the right thing there. But yeah, so there's just a few oddities I noticed. But I'll turn it on now. God, I hope the battery it doesn't go flat on me because I haven't charged it in a few days. And like I said, you get 100 games in here. Some of these you might know. Some of these I've never even heard of. Now, I also don't think this is a properly licensed product from Sega. I highly doubt it because a lot of these games are third-party releases, and usually when something's licensed by Sega, they don't usually include the third-party releases. Like as you can see on the first page, it had Aladdin. You know, Aladdin wasn't developed in-house by Sega. Who was that? Who was that developed by and published by? Published by Virgin, wasn't it? Licensed by Disney. So that's your first inkling. And Bob, that was an EA, published by EA Games. So that's another oddity. And it's got like the Lion King in it. Look, Chuck Rock 2. These are games that you wouldn't normally have built into this thing, you know. Also don't know why it says Fire Cord. Isn't it supposed to say Fire Core? So some things are pronounced and worded wrong. Not only have you got like third-party releases in here, but there's also some really strange games like homebrew releases. Like it's got Donkey Kong in it, Donkey Kong 99. You know, that wasn't a Sega game. It's FIFA 97. It's another EA game. You get Golden Axe 1, 2 and 3. You'd expect those ones to be in there. Let's see on page 5, what have we got? Jurassic Park. See, that's another third-party release. That was developed by Blue Sky Software. But I think it was published by Sega of America. But still, wasn't developed in-house by Sega. It's not like Rystar or Sonic or Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Shinobi. It's not like those ones, you know. See, the Lion King. It's got the Lion King in it. McDonald's Treasureland. Mickey Challenge, Mickey Mania. I know Mickey Mania. See, these are Disney games. You wouldn't expect Disney games to be in here. Moonwalker, I'm not sure about. That was developed by Sega themselves, but I don't know, because it's got Michael Jackson in it. There might be some illegal dispute oddity thing going on that they'd have to bypass. I don't know exactly, but like, there's a lot of cool games in here, don't get me wrong. They're fantastic. It's a bit of a weird library, but none the so, it's pretty good. Outrun 2019. Fantasy Star. Planeteers, which is meant to say Captain Planet and the Planeteers. That's not a very good game, but anyway. Championship Pool. You get Road Rash 2. Okay. Another EA game. Robocop 3, Robocop versus the Terminator. You get Shinobi 3. Now, it says Shinobi, but it's the Revenge of Shinobi. Simpsons, which is Bart's Nightmare. Now, check this out. It's got Sonic 2, right? You'd expect that to be in there. Oh, for once it's got Sonic 3 and not Sonic and Knuckles. Now, it says Sonic and Knuckles, the one under it, but it's not Sonic and Knuckles. It's Sonic Compilation, which is the one that had Sonic 1, 2, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. So that's weird. Why does it say Sonic and Knuckles? That's very strange. Speedball 2, Streets of Rage 3, Streets of Rage 2. Yeah, you expect them to be in there. Super Hang-On, yeah. Superman. Whoa, a game from Sunsoft. Developed or published by Sunsoft, one of those two. The Terminator. Ooh, Virgin Interactive again. See, a lot of third-party releases are in here. Kid Chameleon, yeah, that was from Sega. So you'd expect that to be in here. Tiny Toons, Acme All-Stars. That's one from Konami. So there you go. X-Men. And then you got, on the 11th page, SD card. I've got an SD card in there. And yes, I've downloaded a ton of games in there already. And I'll quickly show you what this can do. What you do is, it lets you get your own SD card and, you know, download your own ROMs and put them in here. It tells you to, in the instruction booklet, I didn't actually show the instruction booklet, but the instruction booklet was in the box, and it says that you can, the proper instructions is to create a game file on your SD card and call it game. As you can see, that's what I've done. However, that's not really necessary to play the games. As long as you've got a shitload of games in there, they'll play. But you have to make sure that they're in the bin format. As I'll show you here. See, all these games are in the bin format. These are all the ones I've chosen so far. I mean, I'm going to add more to it, but so all you do is, I'm just telling you, so if anybody's interested in getting one of these, you'll know what to do. You won't have to watch tutorials on YouTube to know what to do. It's simple. You know when you download a Mega Drive Genesis ROM and always at the end of the name of the game it's got a dot and then it's got MD or .SMD or .GEN? Well, you have to, all you do is change that. Just at the end, just put .bin. Doesn't matter if it's lowercase or capitals. Doesn't matter. Once you change it to the bin format, it'll play on here. But if you leave it as MD or GEN or SMMD, it won't play. So you've got to change it to bin. It's pretty simple. It takes 2 seconds to do. So then you load them all up and you can play them. Now this proves my theory once again that this product is not Power 50, does not run at Power 50. To a lot of you, that's a godsend. That's like really, really good. I'm not stating that as a problem at all. You know, despite sometimes I am biased towards 50 hertz, but I in no way find that to be a problem. But this unit does run at 60 hertz, and the AV out on the top outputs NTSC 60 hertz. So it's just like an American Genesis. And okay, let's put some games on, shall we? Let's cut to the chase, and I'll show you what it's like. This is one of my favorites. Sonic Redemption. It's a Sonic hack. It was a hack that was never really finished, and it had a lot of problems, but I found out that it does not play on a real Sega Mega Drive Genesis console, but strangely enough it plays here. So I'll just go into it and we'll see what it's like. You can already tell that it's 60 hertz by that chime. See? No slow music. Okay, it's gonna be hard. Now, it looks pretty good on here. I'll just turn down a little bit. It looks pretty good on the small LCD screen. It's pretty bright. Oh, it's hard to play this with one hand. But as you can hear, the music's running just fine. There's no slowdown. The frame rate's a little bit choppy. I don't know why. Let me just see if I can put the camera down and get a proper look at it. That's better, isn't it? So, as you may not be able to hear, or may be able to hear, every second ring you can't hear, which proves that it's mono. The frame rate's a bit choppy, I don't know why. It's like it's missing some frames, but that's not a problem really. So, you know, there you go. Like, how cool is that? You can play not only homebrews, but you can play hack games on here. And if I just press the menu and go back to the menu, oh, it's very hard to play this with one hand. So yeah, well, that was Redemption, and that plays flawlessly. There's no glitches or anything. Oh, I mean, of course, this is an emulated product. It's not running on real hardware or anything, so it's understandable it wouldn't detect many things that a real console would. But that's good. I found a way I can play Redemption and be happy with it. You know, I love that game. If that game was finished, if they would have finished that game, whoever it was that developed it, Marky Jester, Utopia UK, and so on, that would have ended up being better than Sonic Mega Mix, I reckon. That had the potential to go far, but they stopped it dead in its tracks. But anyway, a few other strange things. You heard that game was fine. Now, if I go into Sonic 3 and Knuckles here, the music is really slow. I don't know why. Now, I don't know why some games have slow music. Some games do have slow music, but some don't. I don't know why that is, because all the games that have slow music played on this thing are the optimized ones. See, this was an optimized game. This was an optimized game over here for Power 50. It didn't have slow music. It wasn't like Sonic 1. So, yeah, I don't know why it has slow music, but it only seems to be the optimized ones. Let's see if I can do it like this. So yeah, I don't know why it does that. Let me get out of here and go back to the list of games here. I'll go to Sonic 2, and it has the same problem. The music is really slow. I don't know why it's like that. So I don't know why it's like that, but as you can hear, it's slow. And this game never had slow music over here, so I don't know why the optimized ROMs are the ones that are playing the music slow. The ones that are unoptimized are the ones that, you know, have the regular 60 hertz, you know, tempos. So I don't know why it's doing that. And I'll just try to show you one more game with that problem. Lemmings, one of my favourites. I had to download the North American version, the Genesis version of the game. I couldn't put the European version in here because it flickers. Our European version, if you play it in 60 hertz, it flickers. So that's proof that this unit responds like a Genesis, because I tried to download the game Zool and I got this message that said only for use with PAL and Seacom Mega Drive systems. So that's when I knew straight away that it will only play Genesis ROMs. It won't play the PAL stuff, which is very strange. Listen to the music here. I don't know why it's that slow. I was like I keep saying, but it's slow. But the game plays just fine. So I don't know why it's doing that. It's really weird. But it doesn't do that to every game. Like Global Gladiators has another. Some games have another problem, where the samples play funny. So that's not supposed to sound like that. I don't know why. Some games they have that effect. That not only do you get slow music, but the samples play really, really like out of pitch and stuff like that. But you know, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it works. You know, I'm happy with it. Go back to that. Sonic and Knuckles. It's not Sonic and Knuckles. It's Sonic Compilation. See what I mean? So you get Sonic 2 and you get Sonic 2 again. And you get Sonic 1. So the music's slow here. I don't... as I keep saying. Yet I go into Sonic 1 and it's perfectly normal. No slowdown. Okay, guys. There's just one more thing I want to mention before I stop the video. Some games, not every game you can download, of course. For one thing, this will not play any Master System games, so don't even bother trying. I'm not even going to bother trying because I know it's not going to play them. It will only play Mega Drive Genesis games, but it won't play every game. I know this because I tried to download Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition. Also tried to download Super Street Fighter 2, the new challenges, and it wouldn't. They wouldn't play on here. At first, I thought, okay, maybe it's because the ROM size is too large for the emulation, so maybe that's why it wasn't playing them. But the strange thing is that, let me go into the SD card. As you can see, I've got Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Where is it? There you go. Now you saw me play that before with Tails. Now that plays on here. Now that game is about, I think it's 4 megabytes large. Just over 4 megs. And Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition is only 3 megabytes. 3 megs and something kilobytes. So it's a little bit smaller than Sonic 3 Knuckles. Yet Sonic 3 Knuckles plays on here. Considering that the previous at-games Blaze and Firecall Genesis portable versions of these wouldn't play that game because it was too large. Those ones obviously had a limit of how big the ROMs could be, because you could play Sonic 3 or you could play Sonic and Knuckles, but you could not play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You could not play the full game together as one. So that's what I thought at first, but then when I found out that Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition was slightly smaller than Sonic 3 and Knuckles, that's when I thought, hey, what's going on? And what happens is you see the Sega logo and the Capcom logo comes on straight after it with that little jingle, but that's all you see. And then you get a message that says invalid file or invalid format or something. And Super Street Fighter 2, the new challenges, which is 5 megabytes, that was the largest official Genesis Mega Drive ROM release. That one doesn't play at all. You just get a red screen. And I even downloaded another game. It's a homebrew one. It was the Mega Drive Genesis version of Super Mario Brothers, which was originally for the NES. That doesn't play on here, and that's only 64 kilobytes. So you can't tell me that's too big. That's piss-ass small. So I don't know why it's like that, but for some games it just... for some games it just is like that. It won't play them. I wonder if Streets of Rage has slow music. Let's see if I go into it. Oh, it's not slow. Okay. Well, that's about all I had to say about it. I'm not going to waste my time hooking it up to the TV to show you what that looks like. It doesn't. It looks okay, but it doesn't look really good. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're going to hook this up to a TV, you're better off playing a proper Mega Drive Genesis console, because the frame rate is really choppy. It like shuffles along, if you can imagine what that's like. Like, it's a bit choppy here on the LCD screen, but it's even worse when it's outputted to the TV. It's just choppy. The picture's clear and everything. It outputs NTSC. So my TV over there is a Power TV, but it supports NTSC. So it'll just switch from Power 50 to NTSC 60. And as soon as you use the AV out, the LCD screen stops working. So to save battery power, I suppose. But it outputs it on the television screen. Oh yeah, there was one more thing. Oh, I didn't mean to make this video long, but there's so many things I wanted to cover in it. As you can see, it's got the 6 buttons, but X, Y, and Z don't work. I don't know why. Maybe there's something some option you've got to go into that I haven't found yet, where you've got to activate them. I don't know, but they don't work. I know because I tried Mortal Kombat. I got Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 in here. As you can see there, Mortal Kombat 2. And only A, B, and C work. So you can imagine how frustrating that is. You can do special moves and stuff, but you can't use X, Y, and Z. So, you know, A is got to be used for your high and low punches, B is your low kick, and C is your high kick. Whereas if you had the 6 buttons, you know, X would be your high punch, A would be your low punch, B is block. I think Y is either doesn't respond or is block. Z is high kick and C is low kick. So I don't know why. Maybe there's something wrong with this particular version, this particular model I got here, but X, Y, and Z I can't seem to get working. You know. But all these little problems aside, you know, I do think this thing is pretty awesome. You know, because a few months before I got this, I couldn't decide. I was looking into getting a portable because I've never owned a portable before. I never had one back in the day. I never had a Game Gear. I certainly never had a Nomad. And I was looking into getting one, and I looked at the prices of Game Gears and Nomads online. And I thought, well, I was trying to weigh out the pros and the cons of the Game Gear and the Sega Nomad to see which one I would prefer. They both got their problems. Like the Game Gear, well, okay, I don't actually own any Game Gear cartridges, but if I buy the converter, I can play my, huge ass library of Master System games that I got there. But they run in 60 hertz, and I don't want them to run in 60 hertz. Not like I said before, that's not a problem. I'd put up with it if I had to, but I want to play them like they run on the TV screen. And then I looked at the Sega Nomad, and I actually preferred to get a Sega Nomad. But the problem there is that product only came out in North America, and because it only came out in North America, it's only going to play Genesis ROMs. Again, it won't play PAL stuff like this. This does not play PAL stuff. That won't play PAL stuff. And most of my library of Mega Drive games is PAL, because I live in a PAL region. And that's how it was back in the day. So I'd say for the early games it would be okay, but say if I wanted to play Shinobi 3 or Streets of Rage 2 or 3, something from the really late era of the Mega Drive Genesis, it wouldn't boot on a Nomad. It would say for use only with PAL and Seika Mega Drive, European systems. So, and that only plays what was I saying? I lost my concentration. Yeah, it only plays Genesis ROMs. So, and there's no, and it only plays cartridges. You put a cartridge on the top there. There's no SD card like we have today. So you can only play one game at a time, and there's no way I'm starting my whole library again with starting to collect Genesis games. That's just not going to happen. So the Nomad really is useless in Europe, or if you own one in a PAL region, unless you own a shitload of Genesis, games. So that was no good. So then I looked at getting one of these, and I found the Gopher, and I'm really happy with this. It's pretty cool. It's something I can play when I'm stuck at a relative's place and I'm bored shitless. Instead of looking at four grey walls, I can just pull this out of my pocket and give it a whirl. And as you heard from the sound emulation, it doesn't suffer from off-pitch or, out-of-tune music like previous Genesis, Blaze, Firecore, AtGames, handheld portables. This one doesn't have that problem, but you do only get mono sound like I said before, and it's only the left channel. It's not left and right mixed together. So that double sucks, but at least the music's not out of tune. But you get slow music for a lot of the games. I don't know why. The music should not run that slow. The games that play slow on here did not run that slow on original PAL Mega Drive, running at 50 hertz. But the ones that plays like fast, I'll say, or fast like normal, 60 hertz, they're the ones that, we got slow music to. So generally, it's the optimization that seems to slow it down in this thing. I don't know why. So even if the games were, say Sonic 2 was a world ROM game, it didn't matter whether it was a Genesis 1, Genesis or Mega Drive, it was optimized by default, like Lemmings was, and Global Gladiators. So if you played them, if I had a Genesis cartridge of Sonic 2, it would still have slow music. It's because it's optimized by default. So all the optimized ones seem to, or most of them, not all of them, because Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 don't have the slow music effect, but most of them seem to have that if they're optimized. So anyway, that's it, guys. I think I've covered everything. It's pretty cool. You get 100 games in it. It's better than 80, and you don't get 40 crappy homebrew games. You get 100 generally all Sega games, so that's pretty good. And you get the SD card slot, so you can add a shitload of more. Like you saw there, I played Redemption, I can play Sonic Mega Mix, I can play all the hacks, you know, and they generally actually run better here than what they do on real hardware. That's not easy for me to say. But anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, you know, just leave them in the comments section and I'll try and answer them if you've got any questions. So, yeah, okay, guys. I'll catch you later. Peace.